Chandra to share about merchant trade and the services. So give a big hand to Chandra.
Thank you, guys. Just to say good morning, everyone. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to share specifically about our merchant trade money card. If you have any questions, please just stop me or just raise your hand during when I'm explaining, and I will answer your questions on the spot. Yeah. Yep. So
all right.
I'm just going to try to share screen. Hold on, yeah. Okay, guys, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, yeah. Okay. So just a little bit of background about our company. Yeah. So our company is called Merchant Trade Asia Sdn Bhd. Okay. Our HQ is in Damansara, Intan, and we have branches across the country. I'll get into that later. So basically, we have about 10 years experience in this money service business. Yeah. A bit of background. Actually, our company was one of the first company. I don't know whether you guys remember last time the foreigners, when we had phone booths. Last time when we had phone booths in Malaysia, you know that foreigners had a very small card which they scratch and they call internationally for a cheaper rate. We call that IDD cards. Yeah. So our company is actually the pioneer of that service in Malaysia. So that's when we actually ventured, and then we got into money service business and all the other things, all related to foreigners. Yes, go ahead. Question, is it?
No, I'm just clapping.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. So this is just a bit of our volumes for 2019. As you can see, it's quite substantial volumes. To be honest with you, in Malaysia, we are the largest money service business operator. So when we talk about money service, we're talking about, exchanging your USD, sending money overseas and all this lah. Yeah. We have currently about 85 branches. That's our own branch. That means run by us. And we have about 436 agent locations. So I'm not sure whether you guys notice, sometimes you go to shopping malls, you see a small cubicle with two guys sitting inside there, changing money and all that. They actually would be under licensed by the big players, which one of us would be us lah, one of the big players in the country. So they need to have a license from BNM and all this. Yeah. Customer serve about 1.2 million. And we have about 3 offices globally lah. We have in Singapore and Nepal as well. Yeah. Okay. So this is our core business. As you can see, we have 4 relevant departments, relevant sections, I would say. We have the remittance, we have the currency, we have the mobile and the payment business. So I don't want to go into too much detail about this because it's a large thing. What we are focusing on today is the payments business, basically the merchant trade money card. Yeah, specifically the merchant trade money card. Yeah. So if you see here, you can see that the merchant trade money card was actually launched on 25th January 2018. So it's been in the market about 3 years now. Some background, currently we have about 200,000 cardholders. Yeah, about 200,000 cardholders. This cardholder is not exclusively only refugees. It's also our locals. It's also foreign workers, meaning foreign workers like FGV, Felda Global Ventures are using our services in the Ladangs. So they're being paid via our card. IOI, plantations is also using. There's a few others, major plantations, they have signed up with us. Yeah. So going into the card specifically, so this card is paired with a e-wallet. So you have an app and you have a debit card together. Okay. It was the first non-bank multi-currency card. Yeah. So our partner is Visa. I think you all know Visa internationally, you can use the card anywhere. And you can keep up to 10,000 ringgit in the card. So we call this a prepaid debit card. Yeah. The difference between our debit card that we have with our bank card is you can keep as much money as you like. Yeah. But this one, we have limits, which is 10,000, and you can upgrade it to 20,000 now as well. Why? If you ask me why this limits is there, is because the act that governs a prepaid debit card has a limit of 10,000. So this is set by Bank Negara and all this. So we are just following the regulations here. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? Anything? No?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, so basically the target segment, as you can see here, we're talking about migrant workers, travelers, and whatnot. So now with the COVID, as you know, no one can basically travel overseas much. I will just focus on the migrant workers and the refugees, migrant workers, refugees together. So what basically you can do from the card, okay? With our card specifically, I like to highlight a bit is the security functions. So if you have your own debit card, you know that sometimes your debit card, missing or anything like that, you have to contact the bank directly. However, now if we pair it up with the app, you can actually block all these functions that you can see there. You can block the card, you can disable the pay wave, you can disable overseas spend, you can disable online purchases. Yeah, so some people, they have that fear that my card is going to be hacked and someone is going to buy something online. So you can disable all this. Yeah. Okay. Also, one of the major thing is the domestic and international money transfer. So from the app itself, you can actually transfer money currently to 16 countries. So these 16 countries are basically the countries that are represented by the population in Malaysia. So basically, you're talking about Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, Thailand, Philippines, the countries that we have the high volume of remittance. Yeah. Okay. Also, in the app, we have some life protection and insurance, which I will get to shortly. It's a refugee medical insurance as well. For the traveler segment, as you know, basically, this one is more for Malaysians. So let's say if we are traveling overseas, instead of me bringing cash, going to money changer, let's say I'm going to US. I go to money changer, I bring 10,000 ringgit. I go there, I tell him, okay, please change to USD. I take the USD, I carry the USD in my hand, and then I'm walking around in New York or wherever with bundles of cash, which is very risky, actually, especially for travelers. You got pickpockets, you got scams, you got a lot of things. So what you can do is you can actually change the cash in the app. So you have Myanmar, you have Malaysia ringgit in your app. You just convert it to USD, and you use the card to spend. So you can use the USD to spend in United States. The card will automatically detect it is in the United States, and it will convert. It will use the USD function first. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is quite a question that we get, a normal question. You see, when we talk about refugees and undocumented workers, a lot of them will question me. It's like, Chandra, hey, this person don't have visa. This person don't have permit. But for our purposes, for our reporting purposes to Bank Negara, for our audit purposes and whatnot, what we require is, we just require an ID. So as you see here, of course, the majority of people will be using the passport. So when we talk about passport, all we need is the front page of the passport with the photo and his details or her details there. Yeah. So we won't look into the ID. Yes, go ahead, Fairuz.
Yeah, before you go into the ID, Chandra, how do they put in the money into the app? I mean, the bank, I know they go to the ATM and they'll put in the cash. Okay. And then their card will be, I mean, the debit is there. Yeah. The amount is there. How do you do this with that? Okay. How do you put in the money in the card?
Okay. So once they've signed up for the card, there's a few options for them to put money in. One is they walk into our branch, any of our 85 branches, they can top up the card. That's one. Okay. Second one is they can use the Maybank cash deposit machine, CDM
Oh.
machine. Yes, Maybank lah. We partnered with Maybank, so only Maybank. But we chose Maybank because Maybank most, it's like most widely available.
Accessible, yeah.
So they can use the cash deposit there, or let's say third party. That means I would like to send money to your card. I can use via online JomPay to reload your card to send you money. Yeah, so they have the three options there to reload. I'm talking about the foreigners. For us, like Malaysians, I can use my bank account to just top up my card. Yeah.
At Maybank itself.
No, online itself, online from the app itself. It's just like a instant transfer.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So coming back, what market I'm actually looking into, actually because of my background with UNHCR, is the refugee market. So for the refugee market, we have a lot of documents. I think you all know the UNHCR document, UNHCR letter, the MyRC letter, card, even the community cards. So I know that some communities, they have their own cards. We can accept that as well to be registered, to be onboarded. Yeah. And then you have all these other documents. I think these are mostly for the foreigners lah. Yeah. So, okay, now if you see the difference here, let's say, why is there a wallet size difference? There's one 10,000 wallet, one 3,000 wallet. Okay. So why is there a difference? So let's say this person, because we come across a lot of cases whereby the person does not have actually valid, that means it's expired documents, or he only has the photostat. Some agents are very unscrupulous. They hold the passport and then they run away with the passport. So the worker don't have anything, he just got a photocopy, or maybe he, that's all he has. We can still onboard them. We can still onboard them for the platform. However, the functions will be a bit limited. That means he cannot send money overseas. Yeah. However, he still can use the app and register, but the wallet size will be limited to 3,000. Okay. Why is this? Again, we are doing things in accordance to the regulations, the financial regulations in the country. So this is what we have approval for, basically, for 3,000. Yeah. Okay. Now we go into the functions. Yeah. So this is the main function that most of the workers use, most of the foreigners use, is they, instead of going physically to the branch, that means workers get their money maybe once a month or twice a month. They take the whole money, the whole cash, they take a Grab, or they take some transport, and then they go to the branch and then they transfer the money. Okay. During this time, he's vulnerable to extortion. Very sad to say, sometimes the extortion is coming from the authorities themselves, not from third party, because they know when is the salary, and they are waiting there to know. So the poor guy is just walking back with his 1,500 or 2,000 ringgit. He gets stopped. He doesn't have any documents. He's probably a UNHCR letter or community card holder, and it's gone. It's gone. Probably they leave him 50 ringgit or 100 ringgit. So all is gone. So
Chandra, we actually have that experience before. Some of our refugees in our community, that actually happened to them also. They took their salary, 1 month salary that they worked so hard for, work more than 12 hours, then stopped by police, and then immediately police take 50 ringgit, 100 ringgit, okay, take the whole month salary, and maybe leave them 50 ringgit like you mentioned. So it's very sad that they work so hard, and this card is, I think, is a solution for them not to be carrying cash. So dangerous to carry cash because they can be subjected to being marked or being extorted by different people. Yeah.
Actually, to be honest with you, that was actually our key reason for actually coming out to the refugee segment. So because we know this issue is a very big issue in the refugee segment, especially. So with the card, we feel that they have a better security, not only in terms of extortion wise, let's say now I'm a refugee, I don't have a bank account. So I'm staying in a place, a lot of them share accommodation to keep the cost low. So due to that, there's a lot of internal stealing. So I'll be keeping cash under my pillow, under the cupboard, or wherever, in the tin or something. Somebody comes in and leaves the house, this is going to take my cash as well. So a lot of these issues as well. So if I have the card, it's basically like a savings account to me. I can keep some cash there. Yeah. So basically, coming back to the remit part, so they can actually remit overseas lah. From the app itself, they just have to key in the details of the receiver and whatnot, and then there will be a digital receipt which is printed. Then they can actually WhatsApp that receipt to the receiver lah, in whichever country, like Bangladesh or Myanmar, or wherever it is. Again, so this is another thing also that they use a lot, is reloading their SIM, because most refugees using prepaid. They can actually reload local numbers. That means any local telecom provider we can reload. Also international. So let's say the person, the husband or someone is in India or Bangladesh or wherever it is, they can actually reload their phone for them from here. So international reload. All from the app. Okay, again, cash withdrawal. As I mentioned earlier, since we partnered with Visa, you can see like Visa has like 2.5 million Visa Plus ATMs and 200 countries across the world. So there's no issue for them to withdraw money anywhere. Okay. QR code for merchant trade money. So, some places we have QR codes, but I think for this part, we are only focusing for the ladangs. So when I say ladang, is like, Felda in Gua Musang or what, we go to Gua Musang, we actually set up the QR codes for all the shops in that area. So easier for those guys to use it. For here, for KL, I let you know on something that is already confirmed, I would say. The Malaysian government has actually said, look, we don't want 10 or 20 QR codes in each shop. If you go now, you can see every wallet has their own QR code. So what they're going to do is they've selected a company. They're going to come up with one QR code, which all the wallets or everyone can scan. So you won't see any more QR codes coming soon. So that's why we are not going and doing any more QR codes in KL or anywhere else. However, they can use the other function, the card function, the wave function, the pay function, the pin function. Anywhere where the accept card, they can use it. There's no issue. It's the same like our debit card. Okay. This one, I think, is quite relevant for the refugees, especially the younger generation now, because currently the younger generation, they're getting exposed to the internet. A lot of things are happening on internet. We're also having a Zoom meeting via internet, because of COVID and whatnot. And also, there's a lot of, for me, educational materials, a lot of purchases that need to be made online, especially now. And we see that the future is going to be online. We're talking about retail spending and all that. It's going to be online. So with this card, they have now got the access to purchase things online. So that opens up a lot of opportunities for them. I think mostly the younger generation are very, savvy with how to purchase things online, but the older generation are a bit slow. But this is another thing that I think is very good. They can have it, they can use it. Okay, I think security part, because I think the refugees, they are very sensitive towards this kind of issues, and I understand that the level of understanding of using technology is not so there with the refugees, especially some refugees that I know who come from Myanmar and whatnot. They've never used bank in their life. Basically, even in Myanmar, they never used the bank. So now we go and tell them, hey, you have a card, you have an app, the money is there. It's challenging. It's challenging. So hence why we do a lot of on the ground work. I go to communities, almost every week. I'm a community leader or something, trying to explain or trying to handle the queries and whatnot. So At the same time, also we want to protect the refugees from any misuse of the card or anything. So as I think I mentioned, you can see the app can be blocked. You can block the card. You can change the card usage. You can change your PIN. One more thing is the card and the app is actually linked to your phone number. So it's a security purpose. Basically, when you use the app for anything, it will prompt an OTP, a one-time PIN will come to your phone, and you have to key it in. So it's not possible for someone to take your card and use it without your phone. They have to have the OTP. Yeah. They can also view their transaction history. It's all in the card. It's all in the app there. And more importantly is I think the app actually has 8 languages inside. So not only English, it has Malay, it has Bahasa, it has Burmese, it has Bangladesh, it has Nepal. So they can actually switch the language, for them to understand better. And also our customer support. So when we talk about our customer support, not only in English, not only in Malay, we have Hindi, Bangladesh, Burmese. So they will be based in a support center. So they can actually call them anytime to query lah. So this one I think is a bit underutilized because most of the query will come to me. It's like, why is this? Why is this? But of course, we are always happy to help. But there is a customer support service lah for them. Yeah. Any questions, guys? I think.
I have question, but maybe at the end of the session. Yeah.
Sure. Can. Yeah. Okay. So these are the fees. Okay. These are fees: the joining fee, the annual fee, card replacement fee. This is overseas transaction spend. I think what you need to know is, like, when you say joining fee 10 ringgit, it's actually not 10 ringgit. It's actually you have to put in 100 ringgit to activate the card. But we're having some kind of cooperation with Zeal and Love and Peace now. So I think we will get to that later lah. Yeah. But this annual fee will still be there. This 8 ringgit. First year is waived. So similar to our debit cards, there's an annual fee of 8 ringgit. Yeah. Another one fee would be the ATM withdrawal fee lah. It's 1 ringgit 40 cent for ATM withdrawal currently. Yeah. Okay. That is basically the card for individuals. So I just going to briefly go over about employers. So I think earlier I mentioned that some of the big corporates are using our card, so like FGV, like IOI, and all these are using our card. So what are they using it for is basically salary crediting. We call it salary crediting. So previously, just imagine you have 100 workers. You're going to, and they are paid in cash. So you are going to go to the bank, you're going to withdraw 200,000 ringgit cash. You're going to bring it, and then you're going to see each and every one of them, and then you're going to be handing over cash. So that whole process, one, there's a security risk every time you're carrying that amount of money. Two, is very tedious. Just imagine queuing and giving everybody. He has to sign, he has to count the money. It's a very tedious process. What we do is basically we sign up everybody of your workers. Okay. So we onboard all the employees to the merchant trade card, and then the employer basically says, okay, this month's salary is 200,000. They send 200,000 to merchant trade. They transfer 200,000 merchant trade, and then they give us a list of the workers' names and salary for that month. So we credit it direct into the merchant trade card, and we do not charge any fee for this service. It's totally free. Yeah, totally free. And the workers, the employers will have a portal. It's like our online banking portal. So you can see your workers, you can see how much you transferred, you can see your past transaction. You can add and remove workers from your company and all that. Yeah. So that is one more thing I think maybe it's more more for the corporates lah. If you have anyone who's hiring refugees or hiring foreign workers who's paying in cash, then maybe you can, recommend this solution to them lah. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to go too deep into this. That's basically it.
I know why you have an office in Myanmar. So all the security guards and all that, all paid through your card, huh?
Some security companies are, yeah. I think for us, when we talk about companies, basically because the payroll is quite new, I think it's just about a year. We have currently about 300 companies who are using our payroll. About 300.
Because I was just wondering why Myanmar? Why do you have an office in Myanmar?
No, our office is actually in Singapore and Nepal.
Nepal is Myanmar. Yeah, Nepal. Nepal is security guard.
Yeah, so why the office in Nepal? Nepal actually previously was our developer team was from Nepal. Our IT development team was from Nepal. So that's why the office is there. So, and another one is in Singapore. Singapore is just like our regional small office there for regional purposes. Yeah. Okay, guys. So I'm basically I'm done with the presentation. Maybe we can how to say?
Yeah, we can go for anybody have any questions at Q&A, can feel free to ask Chandra any question until you're satisfied. If you're not sure of anything, please feel free to ask, and I'm sure Chandra will do his best to answer any of your queries. Even some of them, like people already using the card have some problems. If you're already using the card and you want to ask, you have some problem, you also can ask Chandra as well.
Yes, yes.
I have question, Chandra. Yeah?
Sure.
First and foremost, thank you for something that is really interesting and also new to me. Yeah? Even though I'm in the, I'm in the finance for about more than 20 years. Yeah. But this is something interesting. Okay. First and foremost, I would like to know whether how does this merchant trade secured? Is it under PIDM, the Perbadanan Insurance Deposit Malaysia?
Okay, so basically our funds will be held on a trustee account with our partner banks. So our partner banks is Maybank, MBank, and CIMB.
Oh,
so basically, yeah, it's not held by us at all.
Okay,
yeah.
Then that means all the remittance and receiving of money overseas would follow the SOP by the normal banking, is it?
Actually, okay, if you talk,
because some nowadays, if you were to receive money from overseas or remit money to overseas, they need some sort of supporting documents in order to abide for the money laundering act, under the money laundering act. So how this merchant trade operates?
Okay, we're talking about the AMLA Anti-Money Laundering Act. Yeah. So basically, merchant trade as a company, we have the remittance license basically. So we have we call it a brick and mortar branches. That means we have branches, 85 branches, where we facilitate remittance. That means you give your, if Malaysian, we give our IC lah. We give our IC or we give our passport, and then we key in we tell the details, they give us a slip. So what we have done with this card is basically we've brought that user experience, that service digital. So basically, when we onboard you, we are taking your ID documents, your details already.
Okay.
So that is already good enough for us to say, okay, this person has a valid ID. His wallet size is 10,000. He can do the remittance.
Oh, okay. That means without you need the supporting document. That means why they do the transfer or they receive the money.
Okay. So when you do the transfer in the app, it will ask you, who are you sending to? Is it your spouse? Is it your friend? Is it for what purpose? They will say for family, for household, or for what? They will say for business. They will ask you. So that will be recorded as well for each transaction. Yeah.
Let's see. Without supporting document, yeah?
No. Supporting document is just your ID that you just when you register only one time only.
That means they will track under the ID.
Yes, correct.
And
it's under the individual because this product is for individual. It's not for company. Yeah.
Even also, if you were to for normal banking, I'm talking about normal banking operation. If you were to receive or remit, they still require some documentation in order to support our remittance and receiving. Maybe this is much more lenient, but again, they can still track under the ID.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Correct.
Then what about if the card holder they miss? What happened to the money inside? Would it be given to the? Would they need to some sort of giving the beneficiary be when they boarding, when they do the boarding? I mean, when they do the registration.
Sorry, I missed your point. So can you?
If the card holder is passed away, they miss.
Okay.
What happened to the money inside?
They can actually, the beneficiary can come there with the proof of death certificate and whatnot, and then they can actually withdraw and close the account.
Okay.
Yeah.
That means you won't follow the what do you call apa tu? His pusaka. They don't need to do some sort of to go
Oh, you mean like they go and do all the things all? Okay. To me, to be honest with you, for this question so far, I am not sure 100%, but so far what I have noticed is if the person can provide the death certificate, and then it is and a certificate, to say marriage certificate or whatever it is, to prove that they have the relationship. We have closed the account previously lah.
Because in I think in Islam and maybe it applies to other religion also, there's a certain percentage need to be given to the waris.
Correct.
So do they need to undergo that? Undergo the process?
So far, we don't have any specific things for the. I know the Sharia. So far, we don't have anything like that lah. I can look deeper into this. It's a very good question. No one has asked me this before. So let me look into it. I can get back to you. So yeah.
Because for Muslim this is important because okay, let's say the wife just produce the whatever my marriage license, they can always withdraw the money. What about the son? What about the stepson? What about the brother, mothers, and everyone? That's the concern. And then also, on the exchange rate wise, is it follow the normal or you have your own exchange rate?
So okay, the exchange rate will be in the app, so it will be a live rate. That means it's updated continuously. It's like live rate lah. So usually what happens is we will be competing with all our competitors. So it will fluctuate up and down.
Yeah.
It will fluctuate. So I mean, that's where we make our margins to our profit margins lah. So but I would say our rate is quite competitive lah, quite competitive.
Okay, understood. And then what on the remittance itself, do you charge the card holder? Is there any charges?
Yeah. There will be a service fee depending on the country and the amount he's sending. But I think it ranges basically maximum about 20 ringgit lah, the highest I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes they have promotion, it's free also. They don't charge the fee.
And then on the multi-currency, do they need to convert to USD first? Only then go to Malaysian ringgit?
No. Let's say the multi-currency is just there. Basically, okay, let's say I put in Myanmar, I put in Malaysia ringgit in my wallet. So there will be 21 currencies there, Japanese yen and whatnot. I can actually buy and sell in the wallet itself. So actually the usage is for you if you're going traveling lah. You go traveling, you buy and keep lah your Japanese yen or whatever, and then you use the card. But some people, they like to play speculation. Oh, today the price is good, they buy, and then later they sell back into the app. You know, it will convert back to Malaysia.
They can do that also,
Yeah. But obviously, small scale lah, small scale.
Yeah. And how do we? I mean, what about with the how to become the introducer? How to become part of the merchant trade?
Okay, I think that one you have to discuss with our friends here with the Love and Respect
Mr. Zeal,
here.
okay. All right.
So they will actually brief you on how they're going to go about it lah.
Okay.
For now lah. Yeah.
And the payroll function is additional function, or it's inclusive in the app already?
So okay, so the payroll function is basically it's a separate function whereby the employer will have the portal. That means not the card holder, nothing to do with the card holder. It's just the employer side lah. So they will have the online portal. They can do the transaction from there lah.
That's very great, because even last time I used to work under the marine, where we have this crew all over the world, on board of the vessel. So we have difficulties also to have this money transfer and everything, but still they need to open the local bank account.
Okay.
This is something really good approach lah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have anyone in that field, maybe we can,
Yeah, I will extend the services to this kind of services to the my networking as well. Thank you. And then that's all about. Yeah, thank you so much for the explanation.
Thank you, Rashida. Thank you.
Just to answer Ponosida's question also, like if you guys here today, you have any friends or any group of people who needs this kind of service, we actually can do talks to them as well, like how we do today, whether it's on Zoom or if you have a venue, we can do with the following the SOP, we can do a talk there, and then if people interested can on board on the spot.
All right, understood. Thank you, Mr. Zeal.
Okay, welcome. Okay, anybody else have question can ask, feel free to ask. I have one question that came to my mind, maybe I ask the question. Okay, for the payroll thing, right? What is the security measures? Like, for example, like say we put some money, we want to pay, go to merchant trade, right? How secure is that?
So basically, okay, what's going to happen is you have your own portal, so you're the employer, and then you're going to pay to your employees. So what happens is you log into your portal, you do a bank transfer. Okay, so the total amount, let's say 100,000, you do the bank transfer to merchant trade, one of our banks. So we will give you the bank account, bank to bank.
Okay.
So it's bank to bank security, and then once we process it, that means we process the salary file. We will release it according to each and individual members lah. All the one by one we will release lah. Yeah, so it's secure, and the portal also. How the portal works is that there will be two persons, check and balance lah. One is the maker, one is the approver.
Oh, just as normal lah.
Yeah. So no one person can complete the transaction. It has to go check and balance.
No control.
Or even like locals, like even local employees, right? They can still get the card, and we can still pay the payroll that way as well, right? For the local.
Can no problem. It's up to them whether they want to use it or not. But usually, I tell you honestly, because local employees they wouldn't want to use, because we are non-bank entity. So if they have a bank entity, they will use that because for loan purposes and whatnot. For them easier. So usually not so lah. The locals not so for payroll, but they use it for travel.
Travel. I think it would be neat.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thing? Maybe Chandra, can you share a bit about the insurance as well?
Oh yes, totally forgot.
No worries.
Thank you. Okay, this one is hold on, just a minute.
Yeah, just to share you that Merchant Trade also has an insurance program for refugees as well. It's quite affordable, so refugees also can take a look at it as well. So if you guys have any question, anybody also can feel free to ask. Yeah.
Okay, guys, can you see it, guys?
Yes, can see.
I was just thinking when you said they were stopped by the police and taken all their salary, how safe is the card? They can also take the card away from them.
They could take the card away, but then they would need to go to the ATM to withdraw
password.
Cash. Yeah, the ATM has CCTVs.
And then the password is it?
Yeah, of course, there's a PIN code as well.
So, okay.
I mean, to be honest with you, if they really want to, even you have a card also, you can
Locals
deduct.
also can have that.
Yeah. So it's just another layer, but yeah. So guys, just sorry, anyone else? Sorry, I can't.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yusra, you have a question, is it?
Yeah. Thank you, Murshidah. Thank you, anyone. Thank you, Zeal. I'm very happy when I come to any meeting. Alhamdulillah. I want to tell, I think the money bank is the card. I think more refugees there is scared, but there is don't know how the system sometimes no far like my bank. I think the money is the refugee people is there is don't have more money, there is not get money more because the salary is not enough. But when you get the money, some money is there is when to send the friend 100, 200 like this, but very slowly, late. I think I don't know how the system is. I think more money, more people is come. My house is there is take the card, but all is now is closed the card. Also me, but I know put the money. Because I don't have money, sometimes is the people is giving me money for refugees. I buy something for medicine, for rent house like this. But very late, maybe 2 days, 3 days, I'm not get the money. Now it's already closed the card. No me only. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to talk to you for refugee salary is not enough here.
Okay.
Because they get 1,200 only. All refugees, there is go to the restaurant, they're washing the plant, cleaning, 1,200 only. The house rent is 1,000. I think there is get 100 when you go to the shop. There is have 100, 200. Cannot. The system is come good for him. Thank you.
Okay. So I think you had a few questions in there. Let me rephrase here, see if I'm correct. Is that you mentioned that one is that some refugees don't have enough money to open the account or don't have the need for the account because their salary is low. Okay, yes. Another one was that I think your card has been blocked. Is it? You mean that you can't use your card? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let me address that. That's all right. Those two questions. Anything else that I missed? Just the two. Correct? Two questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me address the card issue first, the card block. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened is, let's say when you sign up, okay, you have UNHCR card. Okay, for refugees, they usually UNHCR card or UNHCR letter. What happened is when the card expire, your UNHCR got expiry date, right? Some 2 years, some 3 years.
Yeah.
So when the card expire, let's say the card expire today, after 1 year, we will block the account. Meaning not the account is closed. It just means that you need to update us the new document.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you renew your card or you renew your UNHCR letter, it's always good to go to the branch and just submit the document. So we will update in the system. Why this happened is because, again, we have to follow the regulations by BNM. So the document should be valid. Valid in the sense is it is not expired lah. Yeah. But when we register that time, we are giving leeway whereby we allow people who expired documents within 1 year, we allow them to register. And now I've also actually asked our compliance team to extend the validity period for UNHCR people because I know the office is closed and they can't renew their documents. A lot of people are complaining to me, refugees say they cannot renew their document. So I already asked for another 6 months extension on everybody who got UNHCR document. So it's approved. So now basically 1.5 years from expiry date, you can still use the app. Yeah. Then the other question was about yeah, they don't have money to open the card. Yeah, I think that one is, of course, yes, they don't see the value of having a card because they don't have money in the card, or they don't have money to put in the card. However, I think it's also there because I mentioned like online purchases. You know, if you're holding cash, you can't go online and purchase something. So for the kids or for what, there's still an avenue there to use the card. So maybe they are not using it for saving. Okay, maybe they're using it to purchase things online, or maybe he just top up his card 50 ringgit or 100 ringgit, and then he using it to reload his handphone, or reload his son's handphone, or reload his wife's handphone, or something. So there is still a bit of value there, but I do understand. I mean, if people, they don't see the point of it, but I would encourage them to sign up as well, because you never know. You just want to put some money aside. They want to save 200 or 300, or they save 10 ringgit or 20 ringgit a month. At least it's in the card safe instead of under the pillow or somewhere else.
Then one more thing is, Yusra, also, right? If people want to send you money, right, instead of they have to come to you and give physical money, which sometimes they cannot go because of COVID or this, they can send to the card. Then you have the card, you can take out from any bank. Or if you cannot go to the bank, if you want to do online purchase, you can actually use the card to do online. And now, like me and Murshidah, right, all our things we send to the house from online. We don't even go out to the supermarket anymore. We buy online and they will send to the house. So we actually avoid going out, because also quite risky because of COVID and other things. So that will help you a lot. And one more thing that me and Murshidah is doing is we are actually looking for refugees to mentor to do business. So without this card, without a bank account, they cannot do business. So with this card, it solves a lot of the problem. For example, with this card, they can do online internet business, digital marketing. They can use this card at the account for people to transfer money to the account, so they can take out. So that actually helps a lot. Instead of using other people's account, like most of the refugees that those business in Malaysia that we know, they use other people's account. But at the same time, there's a risk. If the person decides to take the money and run, then they will lose the money, right? If 100 ringgit, 200 ringgit, okay, but the money comes in thousands or tens of thousands, then people are tempted to steal. So with this card, you actually have the security that it's your own card. Nobody can take the money from you without any kind of, So
and also, I had this partner program. I wanted the refugees to teach Quran online. And it's only a 40 ringgit per hour, but they have to pay to me for me to pass to them physically. So it was difficult. With this card, I think they are more comfortable paying the refugees fees, for their tutor Quran easily than going through me, because they don't have an account. So this is a help actually. But like I said, the startup to buy 100 ringgit a card may be difficult for them.
Just to let you know, from our side is we partner with merchant trade. It's only 30 ringgit per person. So the cost, if they go directly, is 100, but with us it's 30 ringgit. And then for us, we see case by case basis. Some of the refugees who are really poor and they cannot afford to pay that 30, we will pay that 30 first. And we will sponsor them for the card lah, if they're really poor, or if they are a refugee leader like Yusra, then we don't mind sponsoring the card for them. So then they do a lot of good work, right? They receive a lot of money to help others. So these kind of people, we don't mind case by case helping them sponsor the card. So we pay for the first round, but annually they have to pay themselves lah. The 8 ringgit is quite a small amount. They can continue to pay lah. So I think that will solve the problem of refugees who cannot pay even that 30 ringgit. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys, let me just run through quickly with you on the medical insurance.
Okay.
This medical insurance was launched just recently in January. We have now gotten approval to run it on an installment basis, because when we launched it, it was only available as a yearly premium of 240, which we saw a lot of refugees, they said they were struggling, especially with the COVID situation, to pay upfront 240. So now they can actually purchase monthly installment. This is a partnership between Merchant Trade and MCIS Life as the insurance underwriter, because we are not an insurance company, we can't underwrite it. Yeah. Okay. The details are, let's see if I can expand this. Currently it is available for valid UNHCR card holders. That means only the UNHCR card. However, I just got a confirmation yesterday that in 1 or 2 weeks, anyone with a UN letter also can sign up for this. So not only the card, UN card and letter. Yeah. What does it cover? You can claim up to 6,000 annually for accident or illness. Yeah. So when I say you can claim up to 6,000, is this policy you need to understand is a reimbursement basis, whereby the policy holder admitted he pay first, he pay the bills, and then he claims the bills from Merchant Trade and MCIS Life. Yeah. Okay. Who is eligible? Anyone from 30 days old to 65 years old can purchase. Okay. The premium 240 or 20 ringgit monthly. You can choose installment monthly. Okay. As you can see, basically this is for medical insurance. Whoever is admitted into government hospital. So private hospital, no. Government hospital, he's admitted, and they can claim up to 6,000. Doesn't matter how many times a year they want to claim. They can go in 1,000, then the next time they go 2,000. Doesn't matter. Up to 6,000 they can claim. Yeah, per year. Yeah. As you can see there, I mean, it's the standard insurance policy with your everything is covered basically. If they
it covers giving birth or not?
No, pregnancy is not covered because pregnancy is not an illness. So usually no, they won't cover.
That's where they always have.
That's the question I always get anyway. So
we've been paying for them to have babies.
So yeah, I mean, even our Malaysian insurance doesn't cover pregnancy unless complications maybe. Yeah. So another good thing is about this one is the outpatient type So outpatient, let's say they have outpatient cancer treatment, outpatient kidney dialysis is also covered. Yeah. Waiting period is, let's say they purchase today, 30 days waiting period before they can claim. If it is an accidental issue, they can claim immediately after purchase. Yeah. So this is available now. And if you want even further details, you can actually go onto the website where there's actually the full product disclosure sheet with all the terms and conditions inside there. Yeah.
What is the website, Chandra?
It's just basically you just go Merchant Trade.
Yeah.
merchanttrade.com.my. You go there, you can find under our insurance there will be Merchant Trade Insure.
Okay. Yeah, maybe also we can send the thing.
Sure. I will send you. Yeah.
And then I have one question, Chandra.
Sure.
There was a question, but it slipped my mind. Let me think about it.
Is it the insurance or?
No, it's the insurance. Yeah, this insurance, right? How is it? How is the price compared to other insurance companies?
Okay. So far as I know, there's no insurance available for refugees at the moment in Malaysia. Okay. Some of the background that I can give you is that because I was with UN and whatnot before this, there was an insurance for refugees by RHB in cooperation with UNHCR. They launched it. It only lasted about 2 years. Okay. So what happened was the premium is about a bit lower than this, and they had a family policy. So that means they pay about 200 or 220. They can have 4 people, I think, under the policy with a sum insured about 10,000. Okay. So it's a very, very good policy. It's a very good policy. But what happened? Because of the claims are so high, RSB discontinued the policy because they're losing money. So, as you know, for any insurance policy, basically it's aggregating the cost and spreading the cost over the premium, and that's how they come up with this. So, if it's not profitable, no company will actually come up with this. So we have been trying to get this solution out for the past 2 years, and only finally, reluctantly, MCIS has actually agreed to come on board. But as you can see, they are quite rigid, I would say. So I would say rigid. Why? Because it's reimbursed basis. Maybe the coverage should be a bit higher. But to me, I think 20 ringgit a month. Let's say the working adults, 20 ringgit a month earning 1,002. I think 20 ringgit to cover you for 6,000 is quite a good deal. Instead of you, end of the day, paying 6,000 in fees, you can actually claim it. Because from my understanding is, a lot of those who are attached to the communities, when they go for medical treatment or whatever it is, they actually get donations from the communities, or they get the community to pay for them first, and then they slowly pay back. So with this, I mean, similar method, but they can claim it. So yeah, so that's the reasoning behind that.
Can we get merchant trade to do that? Pay us first, and then they reimburse.
No, because we can't be accountable for the individual. You see, so let's say I pay we pay for the how to say the fees, and then the person goes away or runs away. We can't because
no, but we paid by MCIS, right? To you?
Yeah, MCIS will pay.
Yeah.
So now you're saying we pay to the hospital.
Yeah, and then hospital pays you. So it saves that trouble of us collecting funds to pay hospital, and then when we get back from you, it's not nice for us to ask back from them. These are issues that after we give them, and then it's like a loan, and it doesn't happen that way.
Exactly, it's the same thing, because we as a company, we can't engage with individuals on an individual basis to say, look, we pay and then you pay us back. That would be something like we are giving loan.
But you're making arrangement with the insurance company, not with anyone else. So it's an internal thing. It can be done if you're, in the mind of helping them. This will be your give back, or whatever you term it as, to the refugees, to facilitate them going into hospital without having to worry about how to pay first. This is also a worry, and you're sick and you have to worry. Stress is not going to help. So how do I pay first? Yes, I can claim, but I have to pay first. So it's like giving but not giving. You know what I mean? So
I understand the concern, but from our side, this is totally business standpoint, for us to come up with that, it's just not feasible, because the arrangements will need to be made, and then there's another issue about fraud in the hospitals itself. So there's a lot of other issues, business standpoint. That's why I think MCIS, actually this is MCIS policy basically. It's not as we wanted it to be, whereby they go in and get admitted directly, and so there's not much we can do at the moment but I wouldn't rule that out, because I would say like now they're just basically testing water. Let's say there's a very good take up rate with this policy, then we have the enough, let's say users who are contributing to the premium, then MCS must say, okay, let's do it on another basis whereby they can walk into the hospital, and no need to pay.
Because that would be very attractive.
Yeah,
to pay first, they will still worry, how am I going to get to pay? Again, I have to ask my relatives, and I'm already insured. I already asked them to pay for my insurance. Then, I have to ask them to pay for my bills. It might be more than 6,000, maybe 8,000, but at least, that 6,000 covered it. Any one point, I think you go into hospital, you're going to exceed 6,000. It's hospitals now are like 2 days in hospital, your bill is already 10,000. So 6,000.
Yeah, I think why they chose the 6,000 thing is because for UNAsia card holders and letter holders, they get a 50% discount. Yeah, so I think that's why they came up with that figure
yes, 50% they get.
Understand. I totally agree with you. This is not the best policy, but
they have no choice.
Yeah, this is the best that we could come up with.
The only one they have.
Yeah, currently. So unless there's something better that comes out, I'm not sure about it. Yeah.
I think what we can do as a community, right? If we can show that we are really doing a lot of things to help the refugee, right? These companies like this might be inspired to do something else, offer something extra. So that's why I'm starting this ball rolling. Let's show to the community there's a lot of people that actually want to do and help the refugees in terms of medical business. Then later on, the hospitals will or the insurance companies will able to come up with a plan where it makes it easier for the refugees. But right now they are assessing the risk to their business. So if they see the risk is too high, they won't take it. Like even as a business like my business, if I see the risk is too high, like I wanted to give laptops to the refugees to attend digital marketing club, but I said, what if they take my laptop and run away with it? Because we have cases where refugee attend class, then may excuse and run away, right? So I don't want to take that risk. So I said, no, they cannot get the laptop first. They need to attend the program for at least 90 days. Once they graduate, then only they get the laptop. Then it's fair for me to give them, right? So it's something like that, that kind of risk assessment that we need to make to balance. Yeah.
Just to add on there, guys, actually, from this policy, merchant trade don't make a single cent. It's just an additional benefit that we thought that needed for the community. Actually, it's not. We don't make anything from this at all. It's just the cost of insurance and coverage. That's all. There's nothing there for us. There's no margin.
This is very good. I mean, they really need some kind of insurance. Just that they have to think of paying up first. Then they don't feel free. They still don't get that. I'm that freedom, feel that, oh yes, I can manage my life now in Malaysia. Something like that. They still need us. They still need to be asking for help. You know what I mean? You know where I'm coming from?
Yep.
Yeah, like I have an insurance card. I can go into the hospital. But I still need Fairuz to come and pay first. And then Fairuz will claim. And I see it as I want them to have that freedom. Okay, we have a card, we have an insurance, we are comfortable. We don't need, we are already integrated. Something like that. If you can help them in that way, you feel that they are already standing on their own 2 feet.
I mean, that may or may not transpire in the future because to be honest with you, another thing I like to share with you guys all is actually when I left UNHCR in 2015, actually I started my own company and I proposed to merchant trade to the debit card. I wanted to use their debit card and I wanted to use the insurance. So I actually was approaching all the insurance companies in Malaysia to get insurance for refugees. And I was turned down by all of them, everyone. And I was about 1 year of my life just running around with insurance companies trying to get something for refugees, and none of them were even consider to come up with a policy for them. It's just the risk. They don't see the benefit for them. They all
now
businesses.
They have all this CSR and all that. They can claim their taxes. Why can't they do that?
Because there's a very bad precedent already set by RSB last time when the claims went so high. And they discontinue. So all of the insurance companies already know about this segment, high risk, high volatility. It's not a low risk segment, it's a high risk segment with all their issues already. And they know the claims are high. So, they just didn't see it. So
but now the numbers are bigger.
So
maybe the numbers are bigger, maybe they can.
Exactly. So if let's say we got 200,000 refugees, let's say 100,000 of them are on the insurance policy, then I'm sure they can, they can do on another basis. It's not withdrawal basis, just walk-in basis, and increase the limit and all that. It's just because the numbers are so small that, they sign up. So that's the issue now, currently.
Okay, we do the best we can. Chandra, thank you very much for all your effort. Because I know how you feel. So because I have been there, sometimes we want to help people, help the refugees, but sometimes they don't want to help themselves. They don't want to come and learn. They don't finish the class. So that's why sometimes you have to go to this process of finding the right people first before you actually have to go to all this painful process before the right thing. Right? So I think it's just a matter of just doing it, creating value. But there will be a time when we'll be able to do all this. But I think we need to put in the work first, the groundwork. This Ahmad has a question. Ahmad, feel free to ask. Just introduce yourself. Where you're from. Ahmad?
Hello, Assalamualaikum. I'm from Pakistan, a refugee living in Malaysia. I want to know, is there any option from card we can transfer the money to any local bank account? Because every month I have to go to CDM to pay my rental, so we can transfer by card. And the second is, can you please about online business? I know about one of your program, Ozo Pay. Can you please information about that? That's much.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, thank you, Ahmad, for the question. Yeah, maybe Chandra asked the first question, answer the first question, which is meant for you. Then the second is the online business. I'll answer lah based on
Okay. So basically, what one thing that you can't do is, because ours we basically call a closed loop system, is whereby you can receive money from other banks, Jompe, you can receive from cash in and whatnot, but you can't transfer to an individual account. Okay. Why is very simply is because the system was set up such a way, it's just been maintained like that. So if you want to make a payment to another individual, if he does not have merchant trade, then you have to go and cash out and bank into that person's respective bank, like public bank or whatever it is. Yeah. There might be that facility in the service later on, but currently I'm sorry, but we don't provide that at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chandra, for answering that question. I hope that answers the question, Ahmad. So on my side, what I'm doing with the refugees now is I'm actually, what I found that refugees, what they need is just some skills or knowledge on how to do business, especially now online, right? It's very easy to do business, but all they need to do is just come and learn certain areas of business. What I noticed was we used to run digital marketing classes, but the success rate is very low because they don't have the whole knowledge on business. That's why I decided to, okay, what I want to do is I want to get the refugees who are interested to do business, sponsor them into my one-year mentorship where they get long-term support. They can be with other entrepreneurs, ask questions. They can be with our mentors who teach in different areas of business like branding, digital marketing. Withdrawal is also our partner on how to grow your business. So they do the business from the foundation the right way. Then when they say they get transferred to another country, at least they have this knowledge to apply and immediately start their own business in another country. So Ahmad, if you are interested to do business, what I can do is I can talk to you after this, but it's going to be a interview basis. That means I have my criteria of who I want to choose to mentor or to sponsor in the program, because I have experience before that sometimes we sponsor people in the program, they never attend the classes, they make a lot of excuses. So I want to make sure that the person that we sponsor, mentor, must have the right attitude. That means they must be willing to commit the time. Say we have events every month, you must be able to commit at least 80% of your attendance must be able to come 80%. Then only you can join the program. Then we can accept you. But if you say, oh, I'm busy, I'm working, I don't have time, then you probably, it's not the right time. Maybe you might want to settle your work first. Once you're free, then you join the program. Our program takes a lot of commitment, because like for us, I do business, right? From scratch, I'm already doing business for 50 years. It's not easy to do business. Even you do a freelance business, it takes a bit of work and knowledge. But if you are willing to do the work, then we are willing to help you. You must meet us halfway. That's my commitment to you. If you are willing to do the work and meet me halfway and do the assignments where we give you whatever, then there is a possibility of us working long term to support you in your business. And like our long term goal is even to give seed money for refugees to start business. For example, right? They come into our mentorship maybe for 90 days and we see, oh, this person is very good potential. People like Hassan, like Yusra, right? And then we say, okay, I think this person, we can give him seed money. So we give about 2,000 or 3,000 ringgit for them to start their own business, whether they need to buy a laptop to start business or they need some money to buy some products. We will start with that. And then play by case by case. In the future, if there is more potential and we have more investors, we can even pump in more money for refugees who are, like, for example, right, they want to start a business in Malaysia. According to Withdrawal, refugees can actually start a business in Malaysia. They just need a local partner. So if we see your potential, you have very good potential, we can actually partner with you. Any of us or any of our partners can partner with you to start a company. Then you can do long-term business in Malaysia. That's my long-term goal for refugees. Get rid of your refugee status. Don't be a refugee. Become an entrepreneur. Once you're an entrepreneur, you can survive anywhere in the world. You can do business. Yeah.
Now is
Yeah, Yusra.
Yeah. Now is very difficult the time and 3 March now until now. Last year until now is very difficult for refugee in the business market because there is cannot do anything. Is cannot because there is don't have any chance. Any chance for business because now is COVID-19 and my play very dangerous. Cannot do anything. Cannot do. Before is I cook my family also the refugees can send the food. Can get the money. Now is cannot very difficult for refugee because COVID-19. Alhamdulillah. I'm live in Malaysia. All refugee is Malaysia and live very good life because there is get the food, there is get something, but sometimes is very hard for medical, for rent houses, rent house cannot enough.
Okay. Yeah, Yusra, let me just share. I understand where you're coming from. A lot of people go through that, but in our mentorship, our 1-year mentorship, we actually invited some people who are refugees as well from other countries. For example, one lady was from I think from what that country, Vietnam or one of those countries. She was a refugee and she went to the US. She only have $200 US to start a business, but she was able to do. Now she has a multi-million-dollar business. So these kind of people we invite in our business to share with you their knowledge and their skills. But all I require for the refugees, if you really want to do business, you need to have the knowledge first. You need to learn. Without the knowledge, if you're not willing to learn, you want to take the shortcut and do business, you're going to lose a lot of money. People are going to cheat you. So in my platform, it's a safe space. All the people are like us, very high, positive people, very trustworthy, very honest. So then at least you are, when you are learning at the same time doing business, you are actually safeguarded. People will not simply cheat you, and you need advice. We can say, okay, who is the right partner for you to look out for, or who are the, if you want to get even people to invest in your business, right? We have a way to teach you on how to present to investor and do pitching to get money for your business. But all that, it needs knowledge. So I would recommend for you, if you're really interested to business, is to be part of this kind of, maybe not our platform, maybe other platform, to learn first. Once you have the knowledge, you can actually apply it. It becomes very easy. What I noticed, why the refugees struggle, like in Malaysia, to do business, because they don't have the knowledge. They're doing by trial and error. They are just simply try here, try there, then lose money. So I would recommend that now to do business very easy. Online is the easiest way to do business. And with this card, I think it solves a lot of problems. Before this, without the card, they feel like, I want to do online. How do I get money from people? How do people transfer money to my bank account? So at least with this card, you can still do business locally. That means the locals, if you send food to them, they can send the money to your card, and the money is yours. You don't have to put into another person's account. If they decide to take the money and run, then you lose the money. So at least now there is a bit of security that money is actually yours alone, and people cannot simply take money. And then like for you, you're a refugee leader, right? If people want to give donation to you, like locals, a big amount like 5,000, 10,000, at least can go directly to your account. And then you can use that money to either do online purchase, or you can take the money. It's safe. It's not like go to another person's account, a friend or whatever. Then suddenly the friend see, oh, a lot of money, 10,000. I just run away with the money. Then you lose the money. Then it's a firefighting. So now with this card, it solves a lot of firefighting. Yeah. So hope that if you as a leader, right, you can bring yourself up and learn. Like people like Hassan, right? He can learn a lot of knowledge, become a leader, and then do a lot of freelance work and sustain. I think you also can do it. You just need to, you yourself prove to them, to the community, that you can do it. They'll be inspired to actually follow you to do business. Yeah.
Today is today. Alhamdulillah, today is one lady, she will give 1,000 ringgit for refugees for iftar. And then I have some friend is from refugee. Today there is cook in my brother house. There is very happy because long time is not there is don't have a job. There is not do anything for refugee, for anyone. Now is, I think happy all is there is come here. Fatima Murshidah, she know Fatima from my Rohingya, my brother wife, Arab woman is there is come today is cooking, and then there is send the food is and iftar. Alhamdulillah, sometimes is when I get some money is who is do the food, I will tell him the people is my community is Arab food is there is do. Alhamdulillah, I'm very happy today is the refugees very happy there is get little money is for cook food.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Yusra, for spending your time and asking questions. Okay, anybody else who want to ask questions before we wrap up the session?
No, I want to say thank you to Merchant Trade for doing this for the refugee.
Yeah.
And thank you, Chandra, for going around 1 year looking for the insurance for them.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's really noble of you. And in that note, what is the best insurance company anyways, since you've done your homework?
I mean, in terms of this, firstly, welcome. Well, we want to support the refugees still, but in terms of this, we can't say a best or not best insurance company. It's just basically boils down to, are they willing to take the risk, or are they willing to put it under a CSR program kind of thing, and then let the ball move. So it's more of that basis. So if you ask me now, MCIS is the best because they are taking the risk. They've developed the product. They've actually launched something.
No, I mean for people like us, not for refugees.
Oh, people like us. That
really
one depends on your needs, lah. Because I was attached to Prudential also last time actually. So I mean, I think the number 1 and 2 in Malaysia and worldwide was AIA and Prudential, I think.
I'm with Prudential, but not so good lah.
Okay, so any other questions before we wrap it up? Okay, if no questions, what I'm going to do is let's take a group photo. Any group photo we take, and then we can wrap it up. So if any of you after this you want to use the service, right, the merchant trade service, we can have another meeting where if you confirm, we can just onboard straight away. We can find a venue where you can just go there and straight away onboard. Or even like, for example, if there's not many requests, right, there's only 1-2%, then Chandra can send his team direct to your place and also onboard you on the spot, like what he did with me, right? Just onboard. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes just to onboard. It's a very fast process. Yeah. Okay, come, let's take a photo together. Okay. Ready? Whoever's on, want to switch on your video or camera. Okay, ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you guys very much. So, okay, thank you very much for your time, right, everybody. So we'll keep in touch. If you still have any questions after this, you can always feel free, because I send most of you emails and numbers. You can always feel free to ask us any query, that I can pass it to Chandra to answer the questions, right? So, okay.
Okay.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Chandra.